today. If you're in the UK, it was funny because I kept seeing all these things on like TikTok and Instagram, and it's like, why is 22 degrees in the UK 32 degrees, whereas if it was 22 degrees on holiday in like Portugal, it just wouldn't feel like this. Like, it is just so hot. Anyway, I wanted to do a YouTube video, A, because where the heck have I been? I'll tell you where I've been, and B, this is a topic that really like blew up on my Instagram over the past couple of weeks. It was all about body recomposition. I don't know, I think one of my posts went a bit viral, especially one of my postpartum ones. It was like, right, how did you lose body fat and build lean muscle mass to basically reshape your whole body? So that's what I wanted to make this YouTube video about. I wanted to actually share exactly how to transform your body, whether you're postpartum or not. It doesn't make a difference. That's not the point of the video, but I'm also going to share like what I eat in a day alongside it as well. So we'll break this video up a wee bit because sitting talking about topics is boring. Where have I been? Number one, my camera broke and my backup camera also broke. So I dropped my camera and the lens broke, and then I ordered a new one because it was actually cheaper to do that than to get that one fixed. And then I got a new one, and then the screen fell off, which like pulled the whatever's attached to it. Basically, it's not working. So I now have two cameras that needs to be repaired. So it's really, so I'm using something else. And then I've been building the course that's now on my app, which is the body recomposition course. And let me tell you, the blood, sweat and tears and hard graft that went into that was just like, I can't make a YouTube video. I don't have the time. But I love YouTube, so it was a really sad thing to give up. But here we are nonetheless, and I really want to share. This is the thing, see with YouTube, I find like sometimes I'm like, oh, let's just do vloggy stuff and lifestyle stuff, and then other times I'm like, I want to make sure you're actually getting information out of the channel at the same time. So this video is kind of a mixture, and I wanted to make sure we're doing a bit of a what I eat in a day because I have some new meals, particularly my dinner, that's just like, and I've just found recently like the toddler stage is wonderful. There's a personality, she's funny, like I literally am laughing with her every single day, but it's so demanding at the same time that cooking meals now has to be 20 minutes or less because there's just no way, it's just not happening. So I want to share some of the recipes that I've been making as well. So long story short, this video I want to be all about my journey and how I actually transformed my body. I'm not going to blab for 20 minutes, I can already see we're nearly at 3 and I'm going to try and keep it to 10. With the bits in between. So long story short, this is what I am explaining on my app. So on my app I've just launched a 12-week course called Body Recomposition. Normally we basically do like 12-week challenges. It's like the summer challenge, New Year challenge, things like that, and they're wonderful and they're great and I always get such good feedback. You normally get your 12-week workout program, whether home or gym, and then also a bunch of recipes that you can build your own meal plan. So with my new app that launched at the start of this year, basically you have a whole macro calculator. It tells you your own calories and your macros. You build a meal plan with the recipes on the app, and you can use any recipe because it resizes them to fit your macros. It then generates your shopping list. It's genius, right? It's absolutely genius. And there's hundreds of recipes on there as well, and they're all plant-based and they're all high protein. Chef's kiss. But this time I just thought I want to do something a bit more, you know, something that was just giving you extra, because as much as you can have your workout plan and you can have like your recipes and stuff, sometimes you still are lacking the understanding of what you're actually trying to do. The most common question I get all the time is, how did you lose weight like after having a baby? And the other one was like the first time. So I basically done this twice. I have body recompositioned twice, i.e. I have changed my body's composition, i.e. my body fat has went down and my muscle mass has went up, and as a result that completely changes your entire body shape, and that has nothing to really do with weight loss, and I'll tell you why in a second. So yeah, the questions I tend to get is, how did you lose weight? I'm like, I didn't lose weight. I am the heaviest, not now because I still have a few kilos to gain postpartum, but before I had the baby I was the heaviest I had ever been in my life and looked the leanest. And that is because weight loss was never my goal. I started off like skinny and underweight, but what you would call skinny fat. So I had zero muscle mass, zero shape, like nothing. It was just there, it was just skinny, which is fine if that's what you're into, or like your goal or your desired body shape, but that wasn't mine. What I just kept thinking was, right, I need to cut calories, I need to do extra cardio, and I need to do more and work out all the time to like get this like shredded look. You don't get a shredded look if you have no muscle to show. You basically just become a smaller version of the shape you already are. Weight loss is you becoming a smaller version of the shape you already are. And if you're happy with your shape but you just want to be smaller, then you are literally just looking at calorie deficit and adding in cardio. However, if you don't like your body shape and you want to get some glutes, you want to get a smaller waist, you want to build some upper body, you want a bit of shoulders, a bit of biceps, glorious defined back, you're not looking at weight loss, you are looking at body recomposition. So like I said, lean muscle mass going up and your body fat going down completely changes your body shape. And now, depending on your starting point, you might actually gain weight on the scale, which is what I did. I went from like 98 pounds to like 130 pounds. Very slow process over a couple of years, but basically a 30 pound plus difference to look 20 million times better, in my opinion. And then when I did it postpartum, I had a bit of weight to lose, I guess, because obviously I put on nearly 25 kilo when I was pregnant, right? My body frame started off super lean, and there was like, where's a baby going to grow in that? So it needed the extra weight. And it's funny because I remember googling like, oh, what is like the average weight gain for a female in the UK during pregnancy, and it says between 10 and 12 kilo. And I thought, okay, cool. And I was fine for like the first 4 to 5 months, and then all of a sudden it was just like packing on. And I couldn't understand why, because I thought, well, I'm pretty much eating the same. Obviously first trimester out the window, but I'm pretty much eating the same, I'm training the same. I don't understand. And I remember like the midwife at the time was like, you started off like with a six pack, like a lean six pack. You were small framed. You would think that you would then just have a small bump, but actually it's the opposite. Like your body needs the room. Thus I put on like 25 kilo, totally fine. So basically after I had Blake, that meant that I did obviously have a little bit of weight to lose, but I wasn't really focusing on weight loss. I was focusing on the recomposition again. I was like, right, I don't actually care what the number is on the scale. I don't care what it is. I just know what I want to look like, and I know what I want to feel like because I've done it before. So it was very much a case of, I just went back to doing what I was doing already. It was the same thing, and this is the point, and it was a trust the process, because I knew it came down to this formula, which is what it is. It's the formula that's worked for me twice in completely different situations. And that's why I wanted to build a whole course about it, because I just thought it's just so confusing for people who think that their goal is to lose weight and then they don't actually get to where they want to be, because their goal isn't to lose weight. Their goal is to completely change their body shape. Thus, I made a course all about it. So that I want to make the YouTube video like in conjunction with the course, just to like overly explain it as well, because basically in the course what I've done is you've got your 12-week workout program, home and gym, and then you've also got your recipes, obviously, to build your own meal plan. But every week I'm also releasing an educational video. So every single week there's a new video, like what is body recomposition, training for body recomposition, diet and nutrition for body recomposition, supplements for body recomposition, like what is body fat, like body fat basics 101, core basics 101. Like we have like 12 topics over the next 12 weeks releasing to actually teach you, because there's only so much you can really put out on like YouTube videos and all the rest of it. I wanted it all in one place and for you to actually learn whilst you're also being part of the process. And also with that, every week I'm releasing 3 meal prep videos, breakfast, lunch and dinner, so that you can just follow that Monday to Friday, because this is the thing as well. I'm just at a point in life where I'm like, I need the same things, breakfast, lunch and dinner, Monday to Friday, because I don't have time. I don't have time. So that was the philosophy behind that as well. And they're all like recipe videos as well as like the recipes on the app. If you do want to try it out, it's the first link in the bio, and it's a 3-day free trial right now. I've never done a free trial before, but I just think that this is such, I genuinely think that this will change so many people's lives, that I want you to have a sneak peek of it first and go, oh my god, yeah, I need in. Like I want in on this for the next 3 months. This is it. Okay, recently I've been on a chocolate chip pancake kick. always the protein coffee, but I don't know if it's just been like too hot and too heavy for oats right now. So actually on week 1 of the meal plan is to make these protein pancakes, because you can batch prep them so easily. I took these on a car, like a road trip last week. I made them the day before, had them for my breakfast, and then the next morning took them with me in Tupperware and literally ate them in the car. They hold up so well for meal prep, and there's 36 grams of protein per serving, so you don't even need the protein iced coffee, but I love my protein iced coffee. So I just had it with strawberries. I'm actually making sure I have fruit for at least twice a day. So I'm having it with breakfast and lunch. There's Blake's wee plate. She loves these pancakes. Like, she sits and eats and she's like, best thing ever. So breakfast today was protein chocolate chip pancakes. Basically the formula comes down to this for body recomposition. You need to be weight training, right? You're not going to get the body shape that you're after if your goal is kind of where I'm going or where I have been in my results, right? If you're going down that route, you need to weight train. Cardio alone isn't going to do it. So it needs to be weight training. You need to be weight training very specifically as well, like not just doing random workouts, not just kind of doing like here and there or going through the motions. It needs to be training with intention and structure. So you need to have a program that you're following 3 to 4 times a week, right? You don't need to be doing anything crazy. I personally go 4 times a week. Back in the day I was doing 6 times a week. I did not get the results that I have doing it 6 times a week. It was too much. It was too much. There is such a thing. So I now do like 4 times a week, and it's weight training, and it's 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and these workouts are intentional. I know exactly what I'm doing for the next 4 weeks, and then it changes for the next 4 weeks, then it changes for the next 4 weeks. And when I say changes, it's just subtle changes, like maybe doing a cable variation rather than a dumbbell or a barbell, just to kind of switch it up so you don't get bored. But training is repetitive, and it is the same thing over and over and over and over again, but you have to be doing it with intention. I.e., you can't just go in and be like, cool, bicep curls, cool, doing some of these, cool, and then think that that's going to get you results. You need to be training to close to failure, i.e. your muscles are just like, I can't do another rep here, or like you try and force it and you're just like, no, I'm done. But there is a difference between fatigue, i.e. just you're getting tired and like a bit of a burn and being like, I'm feeling this, versus I actually can't lift this again. And a way to find out which one you are, say you do your set, let's just say you're doing shoulder presses, right? And you think, oh my god, I'm burning, I'm done, and you put it down. Wait 5 seconds and lift it up again. If you can do a couple more, you are only fatigued and you weren't at muscular failure. Now obviously you're not going to go absolute failure every single time, but you want to get as close to it as possible, and that is the only way you're going to build muscle. It's the only way you're actually going to put your body under enough stress to change. So that's that when it comes to the training. Part 2, your nutrition is what will dictate your body fat. So when it comes down to, whoa, there's a blue bottle. When it comes down to losing body fat and building muscle, you build the muscle in the gym, i.e. you break it down, it's all to do with your training, but your nutrition supports that, through a high protein and eating enough calories, because there's a fine line between being in like a slight deficit, which is fine, and maintenance, which is obviously going to help you with body recomp, versus if you're just like eating 1200 calories a day, you're not going to do it. It's absolutely not going to get you where you want to be. So you need to eat enough to support the muscle growth and the recovery. You need to eat the protein to also support that. But your nutrition also needs to be on point in terms of mostly whole foods, like good, high fiber, high protein, nutritious foods that is actually going to support your gut, your digestion, your skin, your hair, your nails, your energy, and obviously your workouts as well. And then obviously you've got cardio. I am definitely the leanest I have ever been now. I still don't have quite as much muscle mass as I had pre-pregnancy, and I'm aware of that, but I'm definitely leaner than I've ever been, and that has come down to steps. I don't track my steps, but I do a 30-minute walk every single day, but it's a mission walk, it's a power walk, because I have Blake in the pram, and that's how I get her to sleep. So I walk every single day, nothing crazy, literally 30 to 40 minutes, quite high speed right enough, and I'm pushing a pram, and it's uphill, downhill, all the rest of it. Bit of cardio to support chef's kiss. That is a formula. Outside the formula, make sure you're sleeping. I know it's hard if we've got children, right? I'm fortunate enough now that Blake does sleep through the night. She gives me a good 10 hours every single night. I don't sleep 10 hours, obviously I do like 7 to 8, but that alone changed my life, because when she was a baby, like, you just couldn't, there was no way. It just wasn't, you're never going to get to where you wanted to be when you were up every hour. And also breastfeeding and all that, but that's not the point. Sleep, water, hydration, fruit and vegetables. Like, so see, when it comes, this is another thing, when it comes to making sure you're hitting your macros, hitting your protein, you want to get some whole food as much as possible. So I obviously have a protein shake every day. I have it in my coffee. It is pretty much the only processed protein that I have. The rest of it is coming from beans, it is coming from tofu, it is coming from like your oats and your rice and your veg. By the time that all adds up together, I'm not eating a lot of protein fortified foods, like fake foods. Like if you go and buy like protein puddings and protein, I do like a protein yogurt from Alpro. Haven't really been eating them as much lately, but they do agree with me, okay? Like, but you know, sometimes you can get things like protein ice creams, protein yogurts, protein etc etc etc. If your diet is solely protein bars, if your diet is solely made up of those things, it's not a good enough protein to actually support your results. Your skin is going to break out like mad, you're going to be bloated, your gut's going to be off. Like, there's so many things. So this is again about the course, everything is whole food, it's possible. Honestly, that is pretty much everything I wanted to like try and say how I actually got my results on my journey, not once but twice. Is it hard? Of course it's hard, but you got to choose your hard, and your choosing your hard is, do I want to suck it up and do 4 hours of exercise a week where I'm pushing it? Do I want to make sure I'm eating healthy food and making good choices? Whilst that's hard to do, I feel so much better for it, I look so much better for it. Or is your hard going to be, you hate yourself every minute of every day, which you should never do, but we've been in positions before where we're like, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way I feel, blah 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 blah. Choose your heart. Okay, so for lunch I'm not doing anything different because I love my sourdough with avocado and beans. I am adding a side of fruit, but the bread I always get is from Lidl, and it's like a seeded sourdough. This is like a fresh bread, you know, if you go to the bakery and it's fresh. However, if I don't get that, then I order this one normally from Tesco. Not actually the protein one, but it's the Jason's sourdough. Jason's is like the cleanest bread ever. Like, the ingredients are just, it's exactly what you want. If you're looking for bread that's actual bread, then this is it. I normally just do the sourdough one, but they never had it because it was like a delivery, so I ended up getting the protein one. Not going to have that today because that lasts a bit longer. This only lasts like 2 days. That's the only thing with the bakery, is it doesn't quite last the same. This is actually inspired, the way I've cut it, by Sophie from Gains by Brains. Long story short, this is my lazy air fryer dinner, right? Where I normally use like a bag of frozen sweet potato. It comes in chunks. I get it in Tesco. I throw half the bag in the air fryer and then I close it, and then the other drawer I do tofu. Leave it all for like 20 minutes. Open the sweet potato one again and just throw a bunch of vegetables in it and leave it for another 10 minutes. It is a 30-minute dinner that requires 5 minutes of effort. But Sophie's video, she had big chunks of sweet potato like this, and I thought, that's actually the way I want. You know, sometimes you want your stuff a certain way. As much as it's the same thing, I did want it in chunk form. So I'm going to do roasted sweet potatoes. I think I'm just going to do broccoli, nothing exciting on the vegetables, but the tofu is going to be like thick teriyaki tofu with like garlic and chilli. It's going to be delish. So I'll show you exactly how to make it. See, simple meals, that's all you want. This is going to make me feel right. They're steamed, they're in the air fryer, a tiny bit of chilli oil just to like really crisp them up. I'm going to save the sea salt for the end, for when they're actually plated. These don't need, I'm going to give them like 15 minutes in the air fryer You can put them in the oven. Depends on your like air fryer and oven settings, they might take longer, depends how much you steam them, whatever. And then we're going to do the tofu. You can do any veg with this, right? Ideally, I would have done like broccoli or something like that, but I forgot. I actually just bought this and it's oh no, it's not, it's in oil. It's Mediterranean style roasting vegetables, so it's peppers, tomatoes, courgettes and onion. And honestly, I think I'm just going to throw this in here next to this. Where's the ingredients? Oh, it is. I thought it had butter on it. Throw that in here next to this and air fry it all together and do the tofu, and that's it. Right, I don't know how well you can see this here, but teriyaki garlic chili tofu, roasted vegetables and roasted sweet potato. And then of course a hummus on the side. I'm going to add chili oil to this and just dip. Wow. So like I said, we do have a free trial down below if you do want to check it out for yourself, the Body Become course. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this comeback video. It's been a while, and I definitely want to share a bit more education on here with you, just so you have a bit more like knowledge behind you with your health and fitness journey, and not just a, oh, that's what she does, cool, but why?